Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another Sacred Pause meditation. Please, in your own way, just open sacred space. And I'm here today at Derwentwater, near Keswick in the Lake District. You may well be able to hear the sound of the waves and the wind through the trees. And all the elements are so powerful here today, the earth, air, fire and water. And of course the element of wood. And you may or may not be able to hear the motor of one of the boats that sail around the lake in the distance. But it's absolutely splendid here with the sunshine, the mist on the top of the mountains, and the beautiful smile of my daughter-in-law Rachel and my dear friend Jennifer. And today's subject is patience. And while I was traveling to the other end of the world, literally, there was a time when I did question whether or not I would ever have the joy of coming back to this magnificent valley, to be able to paddle in this beautiful lake, and to be here spending this time with a dear friend and my daughter-in-law is something that I will cherish forever. And often we just have to have patience. Often we just need to allow ourselves to fall into the aspect of trust. And you may be able to hear the waves here, especially now the boat's gone past. And the waves bring a sense of peace and loving kindness, of grace. There's never any rush with the waves on the water. They just ebb and flow in perfect harmony. So I'd like you in your own way to think about the ebb and flow of life. How many things in your life have you forced? And no doubt many times you've got your fingers burnt, as things that are forced rarely work themselves out. But all of us here are learning life lessons. Patience is perhaps one of the greatest and perhaps one of the most challenging. But like anything else, it's our intention and our thoughts about how hard patience has to be. And if we accept things as they are, then patience is something that's very beautiful. So I'm going to leave you with those thoughts just for a moment or two. And just ponder the things that you've allowed in your life, and the things perhaps that you've forced, the lessons you've learnt from forcing things and controlling things. And I do hope you can hear the wind through the trees, God's creation in motion. sitting here by the lake, thinking of the journey here this morning up the motorway, which was so full of traffic and so congested. And yet I just allowed. I just trusted that I would be here at the right time. And trust is such a big word. But the first person that we do need to trust is ourselves. We need to learn to trust our intuition. And when we trust then in the universe that we're always in the right place at the right time, we do indeed make our life so much easier. So as I sit here watching the ebb and flow of the water, as I remember back to roughly about maybe 10 days ago when I came here with my granddaughters, I recognise that the water levels here now are much greater than they were 10 days ago. And I recognise that this place is a whole valley of change. I recognise how I have changed and how much patience I needed on my journey to do my spiritual pilgrimage through India, Nepal, and then Bali and New Zealand. And that journey could not be forced. Most of it was experiential. And I reflect as I look in the water at the reflection of the mountains and the sun, at how much I've changed since I first came here almost 20 years ago, and how blessed I am that I'm fit and healthy to be back here again today, to be able to walk round the whole lake should I choose to do so. And just take a moment to think of all your achievements. It's the small ones that matter. I personally believe that if we look after the little things in life, the big things take care of themselves. So just take a moment to be aware of the little things in your life that mean so much. The joy of friendship, the smile, having patience with yourself when you're learning something new, having patience with others, and the joy and the security of someone having patience with you when you are learning something new. So think about where you need to be kind to yourself, where you need to be more patient with yourself perhaps. And of course, when we look at law of attraction, when you need to be patient with yourself and perhaps patient with others too. And give great thanks for that. Great thanks, great gratitude. And just feel that word patience in your heart center. As I look round this valley and the majestic mountains, this valley was not formed overnight. As I recall all the years, and indeed the past lives that I've lived here, it's all been a process, and I'm kind of feeling it's still a process, because I am still a work in progress. I cannot be forced. I don't want to be forced, and I certainly don't need to be forced. But when people show me loving kindness and are patient with me, I remember those people. I remember them with great respect and reverence. So I'm going to finish the meditation now with that beautiful song, which is one of my favourites, by the Beatles. Namaste, dear friends. Namaste. Let it be, let it be.